Good afternoon, Representative.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Chairman Markosik. And thank you to the committee members for the opportunity to speak to you today. Mr. Chairman, I appear before you to officially convey to you my thoughts and concerns regarding the 2012-2013 budget proposal. I'm fully aware that this year's fiscal situation presents us with many tough challenges. With many mandated line items and the current status of our economy, we cannot escape the many difficulties, the difficult choices that must be made to ensure this budget is one that is fiscally responsible to our citizens, while also seeking to maintain the many programs and services of which many Pennsylvanians rely. With that in mind, I must communicate to you my very serious concern about the hardships that will be faced by the communities I represent. My district of Monroe and Pike County has been treated unfairly for many years through an extremely outdated education funding formula. As an area that grew tremendously over the last 20 years, we did not receive adequate funding for this growth from the state. The schools in my area have received and still receive much less funding, state funding, than other schools with similar demographics, primarily because of a hold harmless provision where no school district can receive less state financial support than the previous year. That results in a funding formula that essentially punishes school districts with rapid population growth, like those in Monroe and Pike counties, and keeping money in school districts that have had zero or declining growth. Not only has this been unfair, but it has been unconstitutional and very poor business and budget management. It has devastated my district, and you will often hear me refer to a possible ghost town if this tax problem is not addressed. I would like to ask you to ask yourselves, what business would not adjust their funding streams based on growth and proper funding utilization? The state has played a significant role in the underfunding of our schools, pushing the districts to come to the taxpayer. I want to see our school districts get what has been rightfully theirs during the last 10 to 20 years. The crippling effects of this funding formula that was never adjusted based on school populations and other factors hit us especially hard even well before the economy weakened. The damage has been done, and it needs to be repaired. I challenge you to find another area in the state that has school taxes of $10,000 for a 25-square-foot home. Many of my constituents pay anywhere from $8,000 to $24,000. It is about time the Commonwealth, this legislature, and the governor do what is right and fair. I request to this committee that Monroe and Pike County funding history be reviewed in detail and adjusted in this budget, or develop a plan of allocation over the next few years to compensate for very poor management. Mr. Chairman, it is only fair to note that our school districts also play a very strong role in this tax situation. I have strongly encouraged and I've openly communicated with my school districts and administrators the need to prioritize. I continually discuss and educate my constituents on the crucial role that school board members make to our community and the financial decisions that affect their tax bills. Our school districts and our school boards must propose and adopt fiscally sound budgets, and they must do their best to work within tight financial constraints. Skyrocketing school taxes faced by local residents have crippled our area, not only for the property owners on their tax bills, and they have and are continuing to hinder our ability to attract and retain businesses, another crucial component to additional tax revenue to alleviate the burden falling primarily on residential taxpayers. This downward cycle continues as business entrepreneurs look at our area and they see the high cost of doing business based on their local tax bills, and they look somewhere else. Three pieces of the puzzle: fair funding from the Commonwealth, critical spending habits of school districts, and increased business revenue. They all need to work together to help give our residents relief and allow them to stay in their homes. And I received a study this morning. It's a national study that is census-driven and was put out by the Tax Foundation in 2009. And one of the pieces of the information in the study is the taxes as a percentage of income. And let me make a special note that our district has about 35% of residents that commute. So our income is skewed because of the high amount of the commuter costs. But basically, this shows the ability for homeowners to pay their taxes. It is no surprise that Monroe County is 49th in the country and #1 in the state for the taxes as a percentage of income. I am asking this Commonwealth to do what is right and fair to help adjust and make up for a funding formula that has devastated our area. I would also like to mention a few other concerns that I have with this budget, including a proposed 20% funding reduction for mental health and disability services. This would equate to a $1.9 million reduction to our local services. A 20% reduction is too large of a reduction to continue to offer crucial services that impact thousands of individuals and families affected by serious mental illness or intellectual disabilities. We have a societal obligation to these individuals who have not chosen this path in life. We must have moral obligation to respect and offer services that treat and stimulate these individuals and their families to the best of their abilities. I have also concerns regarding the 20% reduction to our state system of higher education, of which East Stroudsburg University is a member. After receiving 18% cuts last year, the additional 20% this year will truly affect their ability to offer quality education at an affordable price, possibly hindering the education levels on our society locally, nationally, and at a global level. And lastly, I would be remiss to not mention Pennsylvania's hospitals and the effects of deep funding reductions will have on our local hospital, Pocono Medical Center, and their patients. Pocono Medical Center is one of the top employers of my area, and I would be greatly concerned not only of patient care being compromised, but local employment. As a result of these many concerns, I believe the budget proposal needs a significant amount of work, especially before it can earn my support. And that includes making sure our schools are treated fairly in terms of an improved funding formula and protecting what I believe to be constitutionally fair to the people of my district. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.